still get to it. Yeah, thank you so much for coming, everyone. We'll get started here in just a moment. They are very smart, Katie, absolutely. They like to be part of my classes. Yeah, that's great. Well, people get upset if they're not in the Zoom call. Like they'll ask, where are the cats? You know, they're so disappointed. And I have to go get them. Well, they're superstars. Yeah, see? You get it right. Yeah. Okay. Well, how about we get started? Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm going to have slides and speakeasy and voice today. Yeah, thank you. So welcome and thank you. This is a Redux, Liberate Agency Amplification via Avatar Identity. Hi there, I'm Renne Emiko Brock, otherwise known as Zinnia Zauber. I'm an artist, instructor, and superhero. I would like to thank the Virtual World's Best Practices in Education team for making this possible. Thank you guys. Big round of applause for y'all. So I did this presentation at the 2018 Virtual World's Best Practices in Education Conference. Wow, that's 5 years ago. It's about preparing students to create avatars and quickly claim ownership in an immersive learning environment. So I'll be speeding through these slides. This was an hour presentation before. We have a half an hour. But you can find them at my website for later viewing. And then also here is my LinkedIn link. So let's connect. Okay. So in my younger years, I was a sprinter, and I love acceleration. I find that leaping out of the starting blocks is the best way of initiating learning. I teach multimedia communications at Peninsula College on the Olympic Peninsula in Washington. I teach courses online and on campus. And of course, I teach in Second Life. And here's a link to our program. Okay, I gotta remember to do both slides and speakeasy. So, as educators, what are you afraid of? Let go of control. Support and explore expression at a fast pace. An adventure requires you to find your true north. Student agency refers to the power and autonomy of what a student experiences while in an educational environment, rather than the instructor having full control. Some call it student-centered or student-focused learning, where the student, the agent, has an active role in their learning. Instructors empower students through agency with active learning ownership, not ultimate authority. By validating lessons prior to entering the virtual situations with surprising personal investigation, mood boards, creation, and character sketches. So the idea of helping them develop their avatar ahead of time. Developing education buy-in through accelerated and immediate avatar customization to reveal individuality and unlimited potential. Use reflective exercises to reveal how this experience exposed their real investment in themselves. So the external reflects and informs the unobserved internal motives. Often the invisible is overlooked or covered up because the educators designs the students' interests and the means to motivate them through their avatar creation. So thinking about, we're going to go through these really fast, but I want you to think about how this pre-work with the students helps them come in world and have that buy-in. Physical versus virtual. I explain to students that there can be differences and similarities between the physical and virtual world. Like my avatar looks like my physical self, and often I wear the same outfits. I design my own fabric, make and sell art apparel as my business, You Are You. And then this is a picture of me at the 2017 New Medium Consortium Idea Lab. I design my own virtual clothing, make and sell apparel and goods as my business, You Are You, at my gallery in Sim and Brawny. In the physical world, I have two cats, Iki and Insu, who are sisters and named after the Japanese aesthetics of unique and united. Whereas I have over 80 virtual cats who are named after scientific principles, elements, shapes, and colors in several languages. As I mentioned before, I'm an artist, and my master's in fine art thesis was unique as well as united in 2021. Okay, so you can see these are some of my sculptures. These images are from some of my sculptures. The building blocks, they're the same colors, but made of different materials. So my research and thesis was about the power of color communication and the evolution of human intelligence, artists, and superheroes. It's about understanding the motivation to strive to be our best selves in action and intent, and to reveal how our external and internal motives are expressed and executed. Okay, and if you know me, I use a lot of systems in my work, so you'll see that they pile up on top of each other. So these are some of the motives when we talk about the external and internal factors. So I'm fast forwarding through these lovely slides. Okay, exploration of easy instinct avatars. Your avatar is a visual representation of you and your professional reputation. Your avatar must communicate your enthusiasm, credibility, and genuine motivation. Trusting their own judgment, making those clothing, color choices, gear, and setup reveals gut decisions on how they wish to be recognized by the instructor and classmates. There's lots of fun ways for students to develop a quick and customized avatar to represent themselves. Clearly, these are some of my avatars. So the Peninsula College mascot is a pirate, so we use this pirate application for them to make their avatars. You can see how the students can create unique pirate avatars. Inquire about professional branding. Yeah, they're fun. The students sometimes use them for their Canvas profiles too. To introduce myself as well as provide my answers for examples. So what I try to do is my first assignment for the students is to demonstrate that they can research and introduce themselves. So I provide some examples for myself, and I'll just go through some of these real quickly. Okay, so please introduce yourself to the class and express how you define success attending this class or Peninsula College. And then I give an example. And then the next question. And these are things you can think about too. How do you define, what's the definition? How do you know the definition of your first, middle, and last name? This gives them a chance to do some research. And I share with them what my names mean. And then I ask them if they know what their birth sign is. And it can be associated with any kind of thing. And then I share with them what mine is. And the idea is just to get some basic ideas of like how they might represent themselves. And then of course I ask them what their 3 favorite colors are. And these are used for their towels. And I ask them what their favorite animal is. And I mentioned before it was a sprinter, so of course the cheetah is mine. So your own bias and interest might help guide what the questions that you give the students and how you will respond to your students' answers. To inform fellow instructors, I also encourage the students to place their definition of success in their Canvas profile. And in this way, the students gain a renewed power when they find out what their names might mean, and you also get to know how you want to respond to the students in a geeky way that I do. And then, yeah, that's me with Douglas Adams, my favorite author. And I create this custom towel image for them so they do not lose it, and it also becomes their first blog header. So there's some examples. Most students discover the results being spot on for sure. Here's one of our students who's now one of our IT teammates. And then some students are even more colorful than expected. He loved wearing very colorful golf outfits. Okay, so next part is developing mood boards and sketches. A mood board is a visual collection of inspiration and brainstorming. It can be creative collage that includes images, words, and reference materials. Both mood boards and rough sketches deliver deliberate visions while open to happy accidents and unanticipated associations. Vision boards are another name for this exercise. So I build up studios and galleries for the students to have hands-on experiences and display in. So their mood boards will show up in some of these spaces. And these are some examples from my vision books. There's that cheetah. And yes, if you ever wonder, that is butter at the bottom of one of these slides, because butter is really important to me. So, 2 stumbling blocks that students have run into are performance perfection and fear of negative judgment of their rendering skills. It's important to be very encouraging, loose in the format, and making the production action-packed and fast. That speed suspends apprehension. They learn that everyone wants to succeed, and doing something is better than doing nothing. Now you can see that sketch ended up being a project that the student produced. All right, next part. Creation and customization of authentic avatars. Prior to entering virtual education environment, I have my students write about the concept of dress to success. They have been working on their colors and images to express themselves. Next, they write about a film or TV or game world that they admire that contains objects that are unique to that world and explain why they look the way they look. Then they have to write about how they want to appear in world. They sketch out ideas of apparel, and that gives them a sense of their tribe, culture, status, and personality. I make custom clothing based on their writing and sketches, and once in a virtual world, they document their avatar's evolution. And it's nice, I can take them all shopping in my store if I need to. I also give them some Linden dollars, so if they want to create their own look, they can do that by shopping. Many are creative and clearly have a vision of what they want. Their desire to step out of their starter avatar comes quickly. Showing their adventurous side, several want to learn how to make their own apparel right away. Like day and night, they are not so invested, and then others who take a very reflective approach. So sometimes they jump in and they just use the starter avatar and stick with it the whole time, but that ends up being pretty right on when you look at their pirate avatar in comparison to other students who really want to customize themselves so they look like their real self. Okay, then the next part is our journey journals and documentation. Students are encouraged to have a journey journal that they can do their documentation of their process, including their personalized research and unique designs. They reveal how the mood boards and sketches become thoughtful application of ideas and engagement. Through field trips, shopping, and working on in-world projects, the students document people, places, and their skill process. Each journey journal is unique. Screenshots, snapshots, while in-world, and working on assignments are collected and curated in virtual galleries and in their web portfolios. A blank page can be terrifying or inspiring. It depends on the student's perspective and the freedom to just doodle and dream. Achievement happens when the students work and play together. We make fun of ourselves and laugh a lot in class. They lead to those adventures and choose what they want to explore. Shh. These photo ops are learning opportunities. Students work as teams and share what they have photographed and learned. So, for example, I'll have wikis on my Canvas shell that the students can drop all kinds of pictures with each other and share with each other to put on their websites. Okay, reflective blog essays. In all my classes, my students are required to have a WordPress blog for their e-portfolio, and this is where they publish their weekly blog posts. I use WordPress.com because it is free, and most of the themes for the blogs have responsive design. That way they can be viewed on a computer screen, tablet, and phone. And students learn a web platform that they can get paid gigs with. I provide a topic for their blog essay each week that might relate to our reading, media assignments, or inquiry about the impact their work has on the world. It helps give them a subject like a treasure map. It's a quest invite. They demonstrate how virtual experiences relate to actual physical passion while teaching them something new and surprising about themselves. So you can see my student Cindy had developed herself, and once she discovered that we had motorcycles in Second Life, then she could reveal that that is her true passion. Often these blog posts contain meaningful and heartfelt stories. They enhance the experiences we all get to enjoy in their wake. So this is one of my students, Christelle, and she had at the time was working at our national park, and she was very focused on being sure that we had a realistic underwater experience in our build, Second Life. Amazing, insightful revelations about student motivation via their avatar development are posted on their blogs. The posts are shared with classmates and on social media for the world to experience. Hurry up! They welcome you to join them. You're never lost when you're looking to find yourself and discover what makes you tick. Thank you very much. Okay, I was fast enough. Woo! I can back up. So let me back up here. So one of the reasons why it was important for me to be able to share this with you all again. Yay! Good. That extra coffee really helped. Was also, you know, to encourage you all. Yeah. Okay. Good. Was to encourage you all how, for me, it's really important to demonstrate coming into a virtual space. And I'm sorry I don't have this in chat. To help people come into a virtual space and assure them that they're going to be themselves within the space. And so that instant buy-in with customization of their avatar, also having a better understanding of what they're going to accomplish in the virtual world. So having that purpose when they come in. And so being able to give them sort of a chance to reflect on themselves almost immediately in my class helps them realize that the work that they're going to do in class is for them. And it is a reflection of them through and through. Even though there's times, and some of you who are in the audience can attain to this, it may be for me, but most of the assignments are going to be for them. The other part of it, I find, is that going through this process, it makes it easier for me as the instructor. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Pirates Friday. Thank you. That we work on our branding on all different platforms in our classes, and a virtual space provides that opportunity to really explore and have a better understanding of who we are and what's important to us. And if you have any questions about this process, I'm happy to answer. And then I also have a few of my former students in the audience here that could also give you some insight too. I will share that, again, the presentation is available on my webpage. And you can, and I was looking at, I realized like I haven't updated that page in a long time. So I'm great to get everyone else to do their homework. I don't do my own. And that you'll find that there are direct connections with this presentation to my Define Your Difference with the Lone Star Compass presentation I'm going to be doing on Saturday. Oh, thank you, Mary. Thank you. Awesome. Well, I appreciate this opportunity. Thank you. I appreciate this opportunity to share this again. It's just a great example of how the virtual world's best practices in education provides these chances to, reflect on the work we do and to encourage others to join us in world and also learn from each other a lot. So thank you. Any questions? Where do I see teaching here to go, and will it be the same, and will there be more acceptance? I think that there's going to be a lot more acceptance. and I believe that our students have to be the advocates for that. So, you know, they are the ones who will build up that acceptance and encourage others to participate. When it comes to where I see it going, the fact that we're going to have even more platforms, that gives us a chance to put the work out there in modalities that maybe others are already comfortable with. And then will it stay the same? I think it's only going to get more expansive. And it will be, you know, just like us saying like, oh, well, I watched it on YouTube. Instead, they'll say things like, oh, I was in a virtual environment and I experienced it. And of course, because it's in 3D, it'll click in more places in their brains. How long have I been involved in Second Life? Thank you, Monica, for asking that. So I've been here at the end of the month, it'll be 15 years. Yeah. Yeah. And, you know, right away, made friends with folks, joined organizations. Yeah, absolutely. Buffy was one of my first friends here in Second Life. Buffy, are you claiming that you met me first? Is that right? Yes, yes. Buffy could absolutely claim that. She was a great welcome, and if you need a mentor, she is the best mentor in Second Life. Yes, really, treasure map is a good idea. And you have your students use, you know, search for treasures too. And that idea of like them also being able to define what is valuable to them is really great, having the treasures. Do I have more plans for expansion in Second Life or in virtual 3D in general? Well, yes, Monica. Actually, one of the things that we're doing is building a XR lab at the college in my classroom, and so we're hoping that we'll be able to migrate into all different modalities, not just virtual worlds, but all these other immersive environments that people can participate in. So that can include augmented reality, that could be virtual reality, that could be projected spaces. Yeah. And luckily, my college had enough faith in me that 8 years ago I proposed a set of 3 classes that involved all of these parts. So I appreciate they understand I like to live in the future. Thank you, Frankie. Thank you. There's a lot of love in this room. Thank you. Absolutely. And for my students who, you know, have been coming in world, they have discovered how helpful and encouraging you all are to them. And I have had many that have stuck with me on working on projects for over 10 years. Although I'm thinking there's some of you that I probably have been working with me even longer, like at least 13 years. So I'm really grateful for that. You being welcoming and loving to them makes a huge difference. They know that they're not alone and that they're part of a community. Buffy, good question. So the question is, what do you think about artificial intelligence such as Chat, GPT, or Midjourney? That's a great question. So, Buffy, I think it's a great way for students to get ideas, but then also see how some of those things kind of repeat themselves again and again and again. And we started using it to do some seamless textures in my 3D design class. And the students were surprised how similar the results were. So it gave them a chance to realize that they're maybe a little more creative than what the IA was doing for them. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Monica. Yeah. And Adobe just started a new one themselves. I think it's called Firefly. And I was playing with that last night, and it just kept coming up with the same thing. So I hope that that's something that the students will realize, how creativity is so important to them. Oh, that's a good question, Mary. Those of you who are in the audience who have been my former students, or do you have an answer for Mary what your favorite treasure is? Thank you, Merlin. Thank you. I can tell you, Mary, one of their favorite things to get is probably wings. You know, even though we can fly, they like that idea of the embodiment of having wings. Yeah. Yes, well, they like food. They like food. And my students know how important second breakfast is to me, so they can find breakfast food everywhere. Uh-huh. Yep, the macaroons, that would be good. Yeah. Excellent. Well, thank you so much for your time, and please go and be part of the parade. Put your wings on and go. Hey, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Take care, everyone, and we'll see you all through the conference. Thank you.